playing acoustic drums is a blast. But is your playing causing your neighbors to call the police on you for frequent noise violations? Electric drums are a good alternative. But do you find yourself wishing you were playing on a real acoustic kit, and not one made of plastic and rubber? Do you wish there was a way to have the best of both worlds? An acoustic drum set that is as quiet and convenient as an electric drum set? Well, DonutDrums has the answer for you. It's the ultimate electric drum set.
Welcome to the Ultimate Electric Drum Set Part 2. Almost exactly a year ago I made a video called the Ultimate Electric Drum Set, and I had no idea the amount of people that would be interested in this video, mainly the topic of the video, which is combining an acoustic drum with an electric drum, also known as a hybrid drum set. In fact, that video is responsible for almost half of my total views on my entire channel. It's crazy. Maybe it's not exactly half, but it's a lot. It's a huge amount. So thank you for everybody who watched that video and liked it and commented on it. That's awesome. If you haven't seen the original video, I would highly suggest going back and watching that. It'll answer even more questions if you start watching this one. It will explain how it got to this point and just a bunch of other stuff. It'd make a lot more sense if you went back and watch the video. And if you have already seen it and you want to see this one, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so my goal for this video is to bring you up to date with all the improvements and changes I've made with this set. One thing I want to touch on before going into the improvements of this kit is the purpose of it. For years I was playing a standard Roland electric drum set, a TD9KXS.
And a bunch of other junk, SSSPP.
And that kit was awesome. It was great. It was super sensitive. It was awesome. But I really missed the feel of a real drum set and the size of the toms and snare and the size of the kick and the feel of real cymbals, not rubber cymbals. And I want to take the benefits of an electric set, which to me are the convenience of it, like how easy it is to record an electric drum set and modify the sounds and tune them, which, I mean, tuning drums isn't that hard, but like, you know, really changing the sounds and really messing with them, and how quiet electric drums are. I mean, I had an electric drum set in an apartment and I could play it almost whenever I wanted. It was great, and obviously you can't do that with an acoustic kit. But the drawback of an electric kit to me is the feel. You know, it's plastic and rubber, and the rubber cymbals really throw me off. I just find myself wishing I could feel a real drum set with the convenience of an electric one.
And this setup does all that. So I guess the main reason why this is my ideal setup is that it's super quiet while maintaining the look and feel of a real drum set.
An acoustic drum set may always sound better, and with electric drum set it all matters on your module or your software, whatever sounds that you're getting, that's where the sound quality comes from an electric set. So I'm not really trying to get the sound quality of an acoustic kit on here. I'm just trying to go more for the feel and the size and the look of an acoustic drum set. Okay, now I want to go over the changes that I've done since building this kit last year. Since I posted that video, I've added 2 new cymbals. This 12-inch Gen 16 Splash and this 16-inch Gen 16 China, both made by Zildjian. These cymbals are different than the L80s that I've been using. They're designed to have the pickup attached to it, and like, you know, that's where they get to pick up the sound from the actual cymbal and they go into the module. They're not triggers, they're more like pickups, whatever. I didn't use those, I just used actual cymbals because I wanted a China sound to come out of the module. I mean, I can make any of these cymbals a China sound, but it would be kind of weird if I just started playing, you know, like the crash and it just had a China sound. I mean, maybe some people would notice it, but it just, I don't know, kind of attention to detail thing. I also wanted a splash. I mainly use a stack sound with this. So just like the other cymbals from the previous video, I added a Pintec RS5 trigger on this one. And when it came to this one, I ran out of triggers. I didn't have any spare ones. So I was trying to figure out what I could do with what I had left over from my Roland kit. Rather than buying another RS5 trigger and sticking it under here, I went to the old parts I wasn't using from my TD9 kit, and I took out the crash cymbal, the rubber crash cymbal, and I thought, hey, this is 12 inches, that's a perfect size for this. So I put the rubber Roland V cymbal, I think it's called, down on the stand, and then I put this Gen 16 Splash on top of it, and sure enough, I didn't have to touch anything. I might have tweaked it a little bit, the mass time and whatever. It responded perfectly. It was great. I was like, holy crap, this is so good, and it fits perfectly on, you can't even see it. I mean, from underneath you can, but who cares? And it just works so well. So that got me thinking. I have a ride cymbal left over, and I have a hi-hat cymbal, the rubber Roland cymbals. So I stuck the rubber Roland ride cymbal underneath the ride cymbal, and I put this one on top. It triggered really well, not as well as this one, but it triggered really well. And as a bonus, that gave me dual zone. It would give me triple, but you know, I can't really hit the edge here. A dual zone, meaning bell and bow of the cymbal, which is what I couldn't get on the RS5 trigger on this ride cymbal. It was a single zone trigger, so you only got one sound out of hitting it. So that allowed me to get the bell and the bow sound. I'll go more detailed into that a little later as far as changing the RS5 trigger to this and the dual zones and all that stuff. That was a huge question I got. So then, after dealing with this and getting that to work, I had the hi-hat cymbal left over. And I was trying to figure out how can I put it with this hi-hat? Because originally I had one RS5 trigger underneath the hi-hat on the bottom hat. Yeah, I didn't need it on the top because when you hit it, the vibration was strong enough that it would pick it up. That's another thing I'll explain a little later. So I took the top hat off, I left the bottom one there, and I put the rubber Roland cymbal in between, basically, like a burger, like that's the meat and these are the buns. And I left enough gap that I could feed the trigger wire out to the back of the hi-hat, and you can't see it. I mean, you can't see it from my point of view, but if you were standing right there, you could see it. That was a nice way to conceal it all. And that ended up triggering very well, surprisingly well. I thought it might not make full contact, which it doesn't, but it works really well. It can pick up double strokes a lot better than this RS5 trigger, so much better. I was really blown away about how easy that was to do. And I just recycled parts from my old electric drum set, and it worked perfect, and you can't see them even from that camera, this camera, but they look and work great. They work better than these RS5 triggers. So I'm pretty sure that's everything that I've changed. Oh, I got a black backdrop.